Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the first time AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the 5-time Super Bowl champs from the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers.
Let's go, let's go.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you. Charles, what a turnaround they've had down in Houston. 4-12 just 2 seasons ago, 11-5 with a wild card loss last year, and now here they are in Super Bowl 54.
We know the city of Houston pretty well, right? Because it's hosted Super Bowls. What have they hosted? 3 so far in their history? The Oilers prior to. Now, of course, the Texans. Neither one of them has ever played in the big game. So that city's got to be out of its mind. I mean, think about how excited they are. Have the Texans representing in the Super Bowl. They've been good recently. Now they got over the top, have a chance to take home the Lombardi Trophy.
Meanwhile, the 49ers are back in the Super Bowl for the 7th time in franchise history. One of the more successful teams in the Super Bowl era as they look to claim their 6th title, which would tie them with the Patriots and Steelers for most ever.
I like how you stated that they're one of the more successful franchises in Super Bowl history because at one point they were 5-0 in Super Bowls. Joe Montana with wins in Super Bowl 16, 19, 23, and 24. And Steve Young, remember that one? Get the monkey off my back as he won big in Super Bowl 29. But they lost.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. James. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Check, 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 check. Go.
On 2nd down now, it's James. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now they got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go.
He'll look to throw. Open man, it's Allen. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston, with the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And I'm sure for these guys, the break from the conference championship to the Super Bowl seems so long. To get out here and score that first touchdown has to take some tension out of the game. Oh, I love the point you just made about the gap between. Think about the pressure that is built in the interim. To come out and get the first points in the Super Bowl, fantastic for the team. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10.
26. 53 is the mic. Get 300. Get 300. Get Mike. Under 10. 10.
They'll run with the Hall of Famer Sayers. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain. Rodgers now on first down. Flushed out right. Johnson's got it complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown. And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it. A run. This is Sayers. That run good for 7 yards, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner. Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play. Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you? From the 38, Rodgers. It's caught by OBJ. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Focus, defense, focus. Flip again. Mike, 53. 50.
Throwing again. Rodgers. Underneath for Johnson. Call it a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rodgers to throw once more. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
On 2nd down, Westbrook. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Antonio Brown. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
319. Number 53. 953. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Yes. Slam. 26. Watch the safety creep.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and very short, Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They run with Sayers, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 24, Rodgers. He finds his target, Beckham. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Take me up. Here we go. Watch twins. Watch twins. To the 50.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Blue 58. 53. Touchdown, defense. Check 99. Check. Back one. Jim. Hatchet. Roll back.
Now Sayers. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Don't say nothing.
Now it's Rodgers. Screenplay, Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Brown, the lone receiver, left. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
On the
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On play action, they'll throw. James has got it. Complete. That one a first down pickup of 8. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Check safety.
They'll keep it on the ground. Westbrook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On first down, Westbrook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on first down. It's James. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
56, right there, 56. It's our time. It's our time. Go! Who's that? Is that your Bravo? Mark 56. Mark, go!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll find JayJuice2's. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers, he's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield. 10-30. Hey, wahoo! We didn't get this.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That's it. Big hit.
Brings up 3rd down.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll keep it on the ground. It's James. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Zoom, fellas, let's go. 56 to Muck, boy. 56. Check 56. You can't block me. You can't block me. Yep.
Second and 11. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third and 11.
56, Mike, 56. Hey, take. 56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. You run. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. I 7, let's go. Hey, man, ready, go.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. On first down, Westbrook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10. James. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
The last run got 6. Now second and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. James. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On a jet sweep, here comes more. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Second and goal at the 49ers' 9-yard line.
The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it second and goal now as they look for that final dagger. On second down now, Westbrook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
They'll keep it on the ground. Westbrook, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Tavecchio puts this one through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's a give now to Sayers. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Number 50, hey, you block over here.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They try to take a shot there on 2nd down, and that leaves them, because of the incompletion, a very tricky 3rd and 10.
And with the time situation, you would expect them to try and get it all in this one play, but there's still enough time that if you can take something shorter, gain some yardage, make it a more manageable 4th down if you need to.
Hey, 626.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be caught. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Power on power, but he He's not going to get in. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Flush to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. 3rd down and goal now. This Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shy.